Hello, my name is Craig Zacher, and I'm tutoring in English and history. I've been an English professor at various colleges for about 13 years, and by far the most common error I see in student papers is run-on sentences. So I'm going to do a brief lesson on how to recognize run-on sentences and how to correct them when you find them. A sentence is composed of clauses. There are two types of clauses, independent clauses and dependent clauses. An independent clause is a group of words that can function as a complete sentence. And in order to do that, it has three distinct components. An independent clause always has a subject, a verb, and it forms a complete thought. If it's lacking one of those things, it's not an independent clause. So here is a clause. My dog has fleas. Is that an independent clause? Does it have a subject? Yes, my dog is the subject. Does it have a verb? Yes, has is the verb. Does it form a complete thought? Yes, it does. My dog has fleas. So that is an independent clause which can function as a complete sentence, and we can therefore put a period at the end. My dog has fleas, period. Now, what about this one? We've added one word. When my dog has fleas. Does that have a subject? Yes. Does it have a verb? Yes, the same ones. Is it a complete thought? No. When we add the word when, we're asking for something else. When you say, when my dog has fleas, something else is coming, right? But we don't have it here. So this is not an independent clause. Therefore, it's a dependent clause, and it can't be a complete sentence unless you add something to describe what happens when your dog has fleas. He scratches himself constantly. Subject, yes, he. Verb, yes, scratches. Complete thought, yes. This is another independent clause. So what happens when we put two clauses together? My dog has fleas, he scratches himself constantly. When you have two independent clauses with nothing in between them, that is a run-on sentence, and it's incorrect. A properly formed sentence that has two independent clauses must have something in between them. What about and? And is what's called a conjunction. My dog has fleas and he scratches himself constantly. Sounds good. But when you join two independent clauses with a conjunction and just a conjunction with no punctuation or anything else, it's still a run-on sentence and it's still incorrect. What about a comma? If we say, my dog has fleas, comma, he scratches himself constantly. When we join two independent clauses with a comma and nothing else, that is still a run-on sentence, and it's a run-on sentence of a special type called a comma splice, but it's still incorrect. So all of these examples are all examples of run-on sentences. Joining two independent clauses with an and or just a comma, incorrect, and with nothing at all, it's still incorrect. So when we find a run-on sentence, how do we correct it? There are four ways. First, make it two separate sentences. That's the easiest. Put a period at the end of my dog has fleas and capitalize the H in he. And now we have two sentences. My dog has fleas, period. He scratches himself constantly, period. Perfectly good solution. okay, we could use that conjunction and make it correct by adding a comma. If we say, my dog has fleas, comma, and he scratches himself constantly, that is not a run-on sentence, and it is correct. And in this case is what's called a coordinating conjunction. It's a special class of conjunctions that work in this sort of situation. Here are the coordinating conjunctions: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. And if you notice, the first letters spell out fanboys, which is an easy way of remembering them. Okay, third way to correct a run-on is to insert a semicolon in between them. You can insert a semicolon only between two independent clauses this way. And this does two things. It not only makes it into a correctly formed single sentence, but it also helps to have the second independent clause connected to the first, because we then know what he means. Sometimes you have a pronoun in a separate sentence and it's not completely certain what the antecedent is, what the pronoun is referring to. In this case, we say he scratches himself constantly, but obviously he refers to my dog. And the fourth way is to use a semicolon with a conjunctive adverb. A conjunctive adverb is a word like therefore, however, and to use that, you see we use both a semicolon and a comma. My dog has fleas, semicolon, therefore, comma, he scratches himself constantly. This works also. If you leave out the semicolon or the comma, then it's incorrect and it's still a run-on. So that's it. 4 ways of correcting run-on sentences. And it's up to you which one you use, but one thing you should be doing when you write an essay is check every sentence to make sure it's not a run-on and correct it if it is. Okay? Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.